In this video, I'm showing you the multicam backpack that I've created around my Blackmagic ATEM Mini that gives me a portable multicam setup for recording and live streaming. I'll be showing you exactly what's inside the bag and taking you behind the scenes and showing you the setups of shoots that I've already been using it on. Everything fits into this fantastic bag. It's the ProTrekker RLX 450 AW2. Yes, it's a mouthful. It's made by Lowepro and I love it. Two main reasons. Number one, it has wheels and a handle as you see here. But if you don't want to wheel it around, number two, you can turn it into a rucksack. You just flip out the shoulder straps from the back of the bag and then you can wear it on your back. It's brilliant. But I know you don't care about that. You want to see what's inside. Okay, so let's go over what is in this backpack. Well, first, what's strapped onto the front here is a Manfrotto B3 Live tripod, and I love this tripod because not only is it super small, it is lightweight as well, but it totally does the job. It's a sturdy tripod and takes the weight of my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4Ks. Let's open it up and I'll show you what is inside of this thing. Basically, it is a mini TV studio jam-packed into this bag. It's got everything I need, including two Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4Ks. So from left to right then, well, this bag actually comes with a perfectly sized pouch for my Blackmagic ATEM Mini production switcher. 250 pounds, an incredible piece of kit, and there's room here as well that I usually store a USB-C cable in, but yeah, this just keeps it nice and safe on the left hand side of my bag and it just slots nicely in there, and in front there's room for its power brick as well. Then down at the bottom here, I just have some more space that I've designed, and this bag is fully customizable. It comes with all the slots, but I've just designed this space to house a few light cables. So the USB-C cable is there, and then next to it is room for another power brick, and this power brick powers my monitor, which I use to monitor the shots coming from the ATEM and record as well. It is the Blackmagic Video Assist 4K, and it's the 7-inch version. It's got two SD card slots for recording as well as an HDMI input, and it can be battery powered as well. Most of the time I have it plugged in, but it's nice to have that option there. I of course carry a whole bundle of HDMI cables with me too, because this is a very HDMI based setup. Then in the middle here, we talked about batteries. I take usually around 5 Canon batteries with me, and they power the cameras and the monitor, but I do most of the time have them plugged into main powers. It's more for backup in case, you know, the power drops. In these two sections here, I have space for some basic lenses, just lenses I like to carry around with me at all time. And then we have camera number one, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K here, slots in nicely. And then we have a recent purchase, and I'm really glad I got this. It is an audio cable, gives you two mono 1/4-inch jacks and takes it to a stereo 3.5 input. And so I can bring in external audio to either directly into the ATEM Mini or into one of the Blackmagic cameras and then pass it over the HDMI. I've also got Blackmagic's XLR inputs for the Pocket Cinema camera as well, and I carry around with me this Manfrotto light just in case I need it, in case I'm in any dark environments, and importantly as well, two power bricks for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4Ks, because I like to power them from the mains most of the time, especially if I'm live streaming. And then that is where I store the second Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K hidden away there. So this setup actually allows me to carry two 4K cameras with me. There's a rain jacket and then just another pouch here for a few extra cables. I like to bring a spare USB-C cable in case that breaks, because most of the time I'll have the ATEM Mini hooked up to my laptop. Talking of laptops, there's space here in the bag for a tablet and a laptop in the front, and then a little pouch in the front as well for any extra peripherals or dongles that you might need. But that is pretty much my setup. You can see I've managed to cram a lot of kit into a small bag, but it really does work. Now that you've seen my multicam backpack and you've seen the kit that's inside, let me show you how I'm already using this setup. So this first example is an NBA style podcast called Hoop Genius. Good friends of mine, Lawrence, Mo and Yanni, do it. And I film it for them. But the trouble that they were having was they didn't have time to edit it. So I came with the solution with the ATEM Mini. It was like, why don't we just live edit it? Then I can give you an SD card at the end as soon as we hit stop on the recording, and you can push that straight to YouTube. And that's what they do. So this is what it looks like. So this is what the setup looks like. It's a 3-camera setup, and then I've got my Blackmagic ATEM Mini station down here to live vision mix it. Now we don't live stream it, it is a live recording, and I use the video assist to take an HDMI out from the ATEM Mini and then record it into the video assist on the SD card. You can see there the 3 cameras coming in via HDMI, and as I say, we record on the video assist and then it goes straight up to YouTube. And I use the headphone output on the video assist, as you can see here, just to monitor the audio, make sure the levels are fine while we're recording, and also it allows me to hear any external sounds that they're bringing in, because they use a soundboard quite often as well, so that's really useful. Now this is camera number 1, it's our wide camera, and it is hooked up here to HDMI 1 of the ATEM Mini, and it's hooked up to power as well. And then if I go over here, this is our kind of main presenter camera, camera number 2, again HDMI coming out of the Blackmagic into the ATEM Mini, and then it's hooked up to power as well. And if I make my way over to our third and final camera, which is a 2-shot of our 2 other hosts of the podcast, you'll notice there's a third cable plugged in, as well as the HDMI and the power. You can see the shot there. It's an audio cable, and it's that audio cable I talked about. You can see it running from the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K all the way along the floor into a Rodecaster Pro. So all of the sound is going into this mixing desk, and we actually record the sound separately for the podcast. But I take a left and a right channel out of the Rodecaster and put it directly into that third Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and then I take the audio down the HDMI, and they're using Shure SM7B microphones, and it sounds and looks a little like this.
Surely we're saying Giannis for MVP so far.
I'm saying Giannis for MVP, but I wouldn't be mad if Harden got it, because, you know.
I would.
Would you?
Yeah, because also the Houston Rockets are not seeing the benefit of him being MVP. At least with the Bucks, they're seeing the benefit of him being on their team.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets didn't even win against the San Antonio Spurs.
A quick shout out to the guys from the Hoop Genius podcast. If you are into your NBA basketball after this video, go check them out. Just type in Hoop Genius here on YouTube. The second example I wanted to just quickly show is a live streaming example. I did a couple of weeks ago for the Paralympic Committee. It was an interview between 2 Olympians and a host. It was on Facebook Live, so we had live comments and questions coming in as well, and they looked a little like this.
You know, if I didn't have the disability I had, I wouldn't have opportunities like this. I wouldn't be able to be a Paralympian, those kind of things. And like the life I've got now is just so exciting, and there's so many good things to take from it. So it's about realizing that whatever the obstacle is, it's about turning that around and realizing what you can actually gain from it.
The setup for this one was very similar to the podcast setup that I've just shown, except we had this fantastic stadium backdrop. But again, it's 3 Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4Ks. Now, all of them were powered by mains, but we had some battery backup power as well, just in case we had a power cut. And all 3 cameras were fed via HDMI to the Blackmagic ATEM Mini that we had here on the desk. We did use an audio mixer as well for this one, because I wanted to just ride the levels a little more. Now you can see in this setup I've got 2 screens. The larger one is my main HDMI output coming from the ATEM Mini, and we use that obviously to vision mix, but also to record the program output as well. The second monitor on the left hand side is just an HDMI direct coming out from one of the cameras that we had designated a roaming camera. So that was going to mainly concentrate on the presenter, but at times we'll get a side profile angle of the guests as well. So because the ATEM Mini doesn't have a multi-view output, I just decided to bring a second monitor, split the output from the camera, and feed that monitor. Everything was then fed into the ATEM Mini. You can see I even wrote some notes and reminders on a napkin to tell me which shot was what. And because it was a live stream, it was all going via USB-C into my Mac Pro for live streaming via OBS. Final thing to add is that I used that audio cable I mentioned earlier to come out from the audio mixer I was using and go into the microphone input of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and then I just turned on the HDMI audio input for that camera. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and it's been an insight into what the Blackmagic ATEM Mini can do and how you can use it for what you're doing. I've created this perfect little mini production kit that I can sling on my back, take on me with public transport. It's even in a flight-sized case, so it can go hand luggage as well and take it around the world. And I just wanted to share that with you guys and give you some, hopefully it spurs on some ideas of how you can use some of the kit that you've seen in what you're doing. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below in the comment section. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.